everybody, welcome to Capital Combat. The name says it all. I'm Hakeem Branch, and today I'm going to recap this past Saturday's ESPN Plus welterweight title battle between Jeff Horn and Terence Crawford. If you haven't done so yet, check out our preview video in which I laid out who I thought was going to win and why. And in that, I was picking Crawford by decision based on accuracy, better balance, and just better skill set over Horn. Now, I wasn't expecting him to stop Jeff Horn, but let's go into why he was able to. So, in the preview video, I did talk about how Horn likes to rush in and smother his punches. And one of the things that Crawford did very well was he was able to step laterally to create openings for himself to counter Horn when he came in on those bull rushes. Horn, on the other hand, was rushing in with his head down, so he couldn't see where Crawford was moving to. Left himself open for a lot of counters. He also was getting caught coming in, especially with that right hook. We saw Crawford go southpaw as soon as the fight started. Usually it takes him a few rounds to start doing that. He did it as soon as the fight started, went southpaw. Only went orthodox maybe for about a minute of this fight. But he went southpaw. He was able to catch Horn with a lot of right hooks as he came in with his head down and his hands down as well. And he was able to counter him very effectively. Also, once he did that sidestep, he was able to get a clear lane to Horn's head, a lot of times with his left hand, and Horn never saw these punches coming because, one, he had his head down when he rushed in, and two, he wasn't really looking at his target. He was just trying to get to the inside, trying to bully Crawford and use his size advantage, which he still was bigger in the ring, but he was not the stronger man. Crawford was able to use his superior strength to negate the times that Horn did get on the inside and nullify any work that he tried to do once he got there. So Horn was outgunned on all fronts. He was not the more accurate guy. He was not the stronger guy. Even though he was the bigger guy, he wasn't the more skilled guy. And it showed the longer the fight went. The fifth round was really big for Crawford. Came out, opened up a nice combo on Horn. And other than one shot every now and then, Horn had no answers for anything that Terence Crawford had for him. It was pretty one-sided. Even though Horn was trying the entire time, none of the things that he tried to implement were working to score consistently on Terence Crawford. So the skill difference was much too vast for him to overcome with just sheer size. And that's one of the things that they talked about a lot in the pre-fight build-up. How big he was, how much stronger he was going to be, how he was going to bully Crawford. And this was going to be that rough type of fight to where they didn't think Crawford could handle it. He showed that not only could he handle it, he was better at doing it than Jeff Horn. So, with him being more accurate, having better balance, because in the preview video I said Jeff works his feet well. It's just that sometimes he comes in and he smothers himself. But Crawford, always being balanced and ready to punch, was able to counter those bull rushes with expert, precise counters. It was a thing of beauty if you are a fan of that type of style. He was able to step back, counter. He was able to catch him. As he came in, he was landing an excellent jab. When Horn would stop in front of him and not move his head, something that I mentioned in the preview video that he had a penchant for doing, which they did not improve beforehand, and it proved to be one of the things that Crawford was able to take advantage of, because once he got into range that he wanted to start trying to score, his head would stop moving. When he was outside of range, he's moving his head, he's moving his body, he's swaying around, and he's stepping side to side before he decides to rush straight in. Crawford had it all scouted. So, congrats to Crawford. He is now the WBO welterweight champ. I did think the stoppage was a little premature, but there was not much complaint from Horn. He did get dropped in the round preceding that, and he was beginning to get battered he got dropped right before that stoppage, and he was hurt in the round preceding. He was hurt at the bell, and then he was dropped, and then Crawford pours it on, and the ref stops the fight. He probably could have let it go maybe 10 or 11 seconds more, but that would have just been more clean shots for Crawford to land, because the last volley really didn't land that flush, but Horn did not look to be steady on his feet anyway, and I think that's what the ref saw that led to the stoppage. So the next thing for Crawford, he has a belt. He's got the other belt holders that are out there. I believe Porter and Garcia are fighting for the vacant WBC. We got Errol Spence with the IBF, and Keith Thurman still has the WBA, and I'm sure that the WBA will give 2 or 3 more people that WBA belt before all said and done. So that's it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so. Like this video. Leave your thoughts on the fight below. Make sure you catch Rob's recap of the Showtime fights, which should be coming out later on this week. I also have our first combat conversation with one of our veterans and an American hero, someone who's been serving overseas. So look out for that. And follow us on all of our social media platforms at Capital of Combat. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, fight on.
This is round 1 and you've already lost. They don't seem to see that everything we've done is coming and gone. My fists are on fire. I perform till I perspire. My demons are in a rage. Keep thinking that it's a game. I kick rhyme, hurricane. I told them I don't play. I'm liquid.
Black Street Fighter.